Hi guys, Chester Westerford here with my thoughts of the 2022 Doctor Who New Year special, Eve of the Daleks. Going into this, I was hoping that after the 6 weeks of that interconnected flux, that this would be a relatively simple, more self-contained story, and that kind of is really, thankfully, pretty much what we got. I enjoyed this. I don't know if there's so few characters and it's so isolated because of COVID, or if that's just what Chibnall wanted to do, but whatever the reason, I think it ended up benefiting the story. As I said in my last review video for The Vanquishers, I think I said there that sometimes the smaller stories can be the more interesting. And I mean, that's not always true, of course, but I think this goes to show that that can be true sometimes. The Groundhog Day-esque time loop story is indeed one that has been done many times in television, but this being a show about time travel, I suppose it was inevitable Doctor Who would do it eventually. I thought it gave it much needed unique twist on the also inevitable Chibnall-era New Year's Dalek story. I mean, Resolution and Revolution were good, but they were kind of like under the same vein sort of thing. They were good though, but it was nice to have something different. Yeah, I thought this was done well, the time loop and everything. Could have gone one of two ways. It could have been either really repetitive, with them figuring it out after several times of it happening, but having them figure it out after the first time, I think made it more interesting with all like the different variations of the loop and all. The one thing I don't particularly like about this, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for it, not a fan of Thasmin. I hope it turns out to be more of a 10th Doctor and Martha situation rather than a Rose 10 situation. I guess I'm a grumpy old fan, I don't know. But yeah, I thought the cast in this did an excellent job. The main cast was brilliant. John Bishop did a great job at that part where he's trying to distract the Dalek. Very funny. Although I have to say I'm a bit surprised Dan didn't try to do more to not die. But I guess it just goes to show what a brave individual he is. The guest cast was really good as well. They added an extra layer to the whole thing. Aisling B was hilariously acerbic as Sarah, and Johnny Salmon? I don't know how to say it. I'm probably butchering the name. Sorry. He was equally enjoyable as the weirdo Nick, although I did think the whole romance between the two was a bit forced. Sarah goes from thinking he's creepy with his storage unit of X's stuff, which is kind of both really weird and strangely considerate at the same time. But yeah, she goes from thinking he's creepy to falling for him just because he has a crush on her. I mean, I didn't really see any other reason for her to do so. Was she just really desperate for a guy? But anyways, speaking of Nick, I can't be the only one who noticed the irony of a Dalek saying, "I am not Nick," given who voices them. If you don't know, it's Nicholas Briggs, or Nick Briggs, as some call him for short. I have to admit, I chuckled out loud at that moment. Oh, and the part with Sarah's mother calling in and that being the solution was definitely amusing as well. Not laugh out loud hilarious, but amusing, and I thought just a fun, clever way to tie it up. Speaking of tying things up, we get the return of Carl at the end there from the woman who fell to Earth. Chibnall obviously tying up his loose ends. Or just a fun cameo. Yeah, this is an overall enjoyable story. Had a unique plot, fun dialogue, and characters. The effects of the TARDIS, resetting itself were really well done, really cool. There's a part of me there that almost wondered if we were going to get a new TARDIS early, but yeah, it made sense that they didn't do that. I would imagine RTD wants to come in and reboot the TARDIS in his own way. I think there's been reports that they've already started construction on it, or have they just taken apart the old one? I don't know. Yeah, overall enjoyable story. Definitely one of the better episodes of Chibnall's era. And of course, a fireworks show saved the day, which is of course very fitting for New Year's. I think rating-wise, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. 8.5. No, 8. 8 out of 10. Before I go, though, it would be remiss of me not to mention the next time trailer. Sea Devils! Chinese pirates and Sea Devils. I don't know why, but that just sounds like a really amazing combination. There's something about Sea Devils that, I don't know, they just seem like they would go well in Chinese imagery and stuff alongside the Chinese dragons and stuff like that. It just fits somehow. I think it's going to be really good. I think we all wondered if the Sea Devils would ever come back, and here they are, finally. And can I just say that design is amazing? They look just like they did in 1972, except improved. Kind of reminds me of what they did for the Sontarans in Flux. They looked a lot more like their classic counterparts, but improved versions. I think, at least for me, if nothing else, the Chibnall era is going to be remembered for having the best redesigns of classic monsters. That one looks good, and I'm looking forward to the last two episodes of Jody's era, and that one in particular. So, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy the episode? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think of the Sea Devils coming back? What do you think of the redesign? Let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.